Hello and welcome to another episode of Battle Ready. Right, today we're going to take a little bit of a look back. So this is our last Monday video of the year.
Yep.
And we thought we'd look back on the whole of the hobby for the past year and what was our favorite thing and what was our least favorite, most disappointing, something like that. But we're going to start on the positive. So Drake, favoritist thing of the last year?
New Gits models.
So the new Gits models were announced. No new Gits models this year, but just the announcement.
Exactly. The best. We gotta have them.
All right, what do you like the best about them?
I just like that they appear a lot more ramshackle and real.
Yeah, I like the Git mob a lot. I think it's fun. It's fun to see them explore, like the whole Gloomspite in caves and darkness and stuff like that is fine. It's cool. I like that. But seeing them branch out a little bit and you can
Into
see
sun killers.
Yeah, you can see goblins that are a little bit
more insane.
Yeah, they've got a different
view on life.
Philosophy. Yeah. They've got a different sort of modus operandi, and so it's like, oh, these goblins are sort of cool. Plus, all the models I liked. I liked the chariot. I liked the boss guy.
Catapult.
I love the Doomdiver catapult. I love the Snarl Fangs. I love I think there was one more, a bigger chariot. I mean, they were all cool. There was not one model that I thought, well, that's a stinker, but the rest are good. No, they were all good.
And then the named boss man.
Yeah. That's the Eyes of the Boss Man. And the fact that they're going to come out in a box, which means we can get the book with it and everything. I'm very excited. I agree with you. I think that was one of the highlights. A more recent highlight, but one of the highlights. All right. So I think for me, there's been a ton of good things over the year. I think the whole Skaventide thing was great. The introduction of Spearhead has been phenomenal. But if I had to pick one thing, yes, I think the thing that I would pick for my favorite is the refresh of the Skaven line. And the reason is I have always wanted to play Skaven. I think that their lore is really fun.
Batman of Awesomeness.
I think the models are, or at least the idea of them, is very cool. I think that how they appear in books is really interesting. I like how backstabby they are. It's very cool. But those models, or at least the models prior to July of 2024,
024.
They were pretty bad for the most part. I mean, pretty bad. And I knew one of two things was going to happen. Either they were going to slowly shuffle off, sort of like the Beastmen. That's why I didn't want to spend a bunch of money getting things that are going to be squatted. Or they were going to be refreshed. So I didn't want to spend a bunch of money buying models that I knew were going to be out of date. So once the refresh happened, boom, now I'm really excited. And it was pretty easy to get a 2,000 point army. So between the Skaventide contents, the Spearhead contents, and then I got a Bombardier and Thanquol. That's 2,000 points. Now that might not be the best army, and of course over time
it'll be fun.
It'll be fun, but over time it'll expand. I'll say, oh, I really do want 3 more Rat Ogres. Oh, you know what? I really want a reinforced Storm Fiend. Whatever it is, or maybe I want to go more into the artillery. Over time things will accumulate.
One more Meat Boys.
But yeah. But for now, man, I was really excited. I remain really excited because it gave me the opportunity to get into an army that I had really wanted to start, but the models were sort of keeping me away. And the models, like we talked about before, it's like 90% of the enjoyment of an army, right? Is you got to like those models. All right. So that was really cool. And like I said, Spearhead, there's a bunch of other things you could point to that were really cool. A couple of models I really liked, Vizek Scour. I also like the introduction of the Git mob. I mean, there have been some really, really interesting. And if you go back a little ways, back to Broken Realms, Usharon came out this year, right? Usharon is a crazy cool model. So I think I really like Cryptborn, Ionis Cryptborn. Oh, and that dragon. We don't have him. I don't know if I'll ever get him, but I think he looks pretty snazzy. Looks pretty good. I like him a lot. But not everything was great, right? There's some things that were less than great. What were our disappointments this year? So thinking about Games Workshop, the hobby in general, lore stuff, Drake, what were you the most disappointed in this year?
Me trying into the Yellow Boys version of the Iron Dust paint scheme on the Ard Boys with Swords.
All right, why was that disappointing?
It super did not turn out.
How do you mean?
I feel like they just feel too flat. And
Well, that's interesting because you're currently in the midst of painting brutes,
who are yellow?
and you went for a yellow scheme. So why'd you do yellow scheme again if you didn't like it?
Because I identified the problem with my yellow Ard Boys as I didn't use the secondary color enough.
Hmm.
They were mostly yellow with 3 areas where I put the secondary color on.
Uh-huh.
And they were just the hands and the shield and parts of the shields.
So they were too samey.
Yeah, they were all super yellow, very light.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I think your paint job is fine, but you know, being a little disappointed in how something came out, that's painting.
Yep.
That's all art, really, I think. But the cool thing is that you learn from that, and now your brutes are looking better, right?
Mm.
So that's pretty cool. For me, I've got a twofer. I'll tell you what my two are. The first one is, remember when 4th edition they were first teasing it out, and what was the big tease?
Sigmar Lied.
Sigmar Lied.
Nothing.
Meant nothing. There was nothing to it. That was complete nonsense. I don't know if like marketing came up with that and didn't tell anybody or what, but that was bad because it could have been like Chaos Stormcast. It could have been, oh, the lie is that it's a flaw in the reforging, and maybe that flaw is there intentionally, and Sigmar is not a nice guy. It could have been a million different things, and instead it was nothing.
Maybe what it is they're Sigmar lies and saying, yeah, once you get reforged too many times, you turn directly into a lightning geist.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could come up with things, right? We could come up with things like, well, maybe it's this or maybe it's that. But really, that's you and me and other gamers sort of hypothesizing. If you're going to come out and say Sigmar lied, it better have some kind of story hook. This is what he lied about. These are people's reactions to it. The Stormcaster figuring it out, and maybe the other pantheon of orders like, ooh, maybe we don't want to be part of this anymore. So they fracture it even further.
We'll make our own faction.
Yeah. They could have had a million different things, right? And instead, it meant literally nothing. If they hadn't said Sigmar lied, if they had just said rats incoming, same exact effect on the narrative, right? There would have been no difference at all.
Instead of Sigmar lied, they could have just said Ruination is coming.
Yeah, for sure. I think that whole Sigmar lied thing was pretty disappointing because it could have been something, but instead it was nothing. And my second pick is Warhammer Plus.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah, Warhammer Plus is my disappointment because they keep saying they've got all these videos. What do you call those things?
Painting?
No, the shows.
Animations?
The animations. And they keep not coming out with animations.
Well, they came out with a couple.
They came out with a couple, but they were like 2 episodes long.
Was
3 episodes long. I can't remember if Black Talon was this year or last year.
I think it was like February of this
year. But
year.
It was only 6 episodes long.
But all of them were awesome.
They were good, right? My disappointment isn't in the quality of the show. I think the shows more or less have all been pretty good. I haven't really hated any of them. Yeah, Old Bay is probably still the best of Hammer and Bolter at least. But the frequency is just really, really poor. I was hoping that we would see like a new animation, one would go for 6 weeks, let's say. You have a couple weeks off, and then the next one would start. Where you would get, over the course of a year, like maybe 4 to 6 animations. And instead, we got like 4 to 6 episodes. I mean, some of those animations were so short and sort of meaningless. It's been really, really disappointing. Now, Warhammer Plus also gives you access to the Vault, which is old issues of White Dwarf and manuals and stuff. Okay. That's nah. And then it also gives you the painting show, which is okay. It's okay. And the Lore Master show. It's okay. It's okay. But it's just like the quality of stuff they put out this past year has been pretty, I shouldn't say quality, the quantity of stuff they put out this year has just been really disappointing. Because when something does come out, it's pretty enjoyable. But when it doesn't,
Oh,
it's not. It's not. I really wish there was more to it. I think if you pay for a Warhammer Plus subscription, they should just let you keep all the War Scrolls in the app for free, right? There should be some kind of benefit to being a Warhammer Plus subscriber because right now, not that much benefit.
you get a
Not
cool
that
model.
much. Yeah, you do get a cool model. Although this year the models for was cities, and we
And
don't play cities.
one of the
So
models looks so weird. He looks so worried.
he does look a little concerned.
He looks quite concerned. Like he didn't label his elixirs or something.
But so, however, on the whole, I think there were a lot more cool things than there were disappointments. And so I'm going into the new year pretty excited.
Yeah.
We've got Gits coming up.
Iron Just.
The rumor is that Orc War Clans is going to be announced, next. In fact, as this goes up, it might already at least be announced as an upcoming pre-order. We'll see. We'll see. So that's coming up. That'll be cool. We'll get that. Git Mob coming after that. There's rumors of Soul Blight after that, which is awesome.
New
We play
Grave
that
Guard.
army.
New Grave Guard.
This has been pretty exciting in terms of the upcoming stuff. There's a lot of stuff that appears to be coming up, and it all seems to be pretty good. I think that as we go forward, there's going to be a lot more hits than misses. Will there be misses over time?
Of course.
I'm sure, right? No company's perfect. No game system is perfect.
Games Workshop certainly tries.
They try, which is good. It's good that they try because in the past and with other game companies, sometimes it's like, here's a game, you're on your own. you got to play it or not. I don't know. Just buy the game.
Have fun.
And I think that their attempts at balance, while not always entirely successful, are things that it is good to see that they have an investment in seeing the game overall succeed. All right. Any final loves or hates over the past year of 2024? 2024 is almost over. It's
That's
crazy. Any finals?
Nothing I can think of at the very moment.
At the very moment. All right. Put it in the comments below. Let us know.
No,
Oh, you do have one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruination Chamber guys deleting half of your unit of Slaves to Darkness 20-pack of in
Yes.
one sweep.
So in a recent game, hopefully it's gone up by this point, but in a recent game, Drake brought in some Ruination Reclusians,
Reclusians with
and
their
they
buff
just
Lord
chewed up a 20-pack of Chaos Warriors.
Yeah.
By the end of the game, only
two.
one Reclusian had died.
No, not even one.
I thought one died.
No, that was the Lord Terminos.
Oh, okay. So no Reclusians had died.
When I'd gotten injured.
And 18 out of 20 Chaos Warriors had died. So it was pretty brutal. The Reclusians came to play, it turns out. And that's another thing that's cool about Warhammer in general. It's just the idea, the narratives, the stories, the remember wins. It's cool because that's something that we'll remember a long time. Next time a bunch of Chaos Warriors come in, we'll be like,
Reclusians.
what do you think? Are there any Reclusians there? No, coast is clear. All right, we're coming in.
All right, we got this.
All right, let us know in the comments below what you think. What have been your biggest successes, the most exciting things, fun things you've done this past year, most memorable things? And do you have any disappointments? Be happy to, or I don't know about happy, but interested to know about those as well. This has been another episode of Battle Ready.
Ready for the new year.
Thanks so much for watching.